Because we always want something unique. We always want something new. Not to say that we don't want to go back to the greats and listen to the greats, but we always want that when it comes to the progression of the individual who we're listening to, we always want the new version. Set aside the fact that the original composer may have been the greatest. So, we get our music together and we now have to get it out there somehow, some way. And the way we get it out there is by choosing who is going to publicize the work. Who's going to get it out there into the public so the public can actually listen to it. And we have several different entities that take a part in counting how many times this work is performed and played. Less on the performance side, more on the radio side, where you're able to actually listen to this. And we'll be able to get into the difference between what we call radio and what is going to happen in the future with digital. And I believe that the ability to be able to make money in this industry is going to expand. However, we need the tools to be able to continuously create that pattern for the artist so that the artist is compensated for what he or she does. So you choose a publisher wisely. And in some cases, you can't even choose a publisher because the publisher chooses what he wants to listen to as well. If she decides that she doesn't want to hear what your creativity spawns or see what your creativity creates, or if she doesn't want to listen, or if he doesn't want to listen to the way that your music makes him or her feel, he doesn't have to. And whether there is a market for that particular music or not, that particular publisher has the right to choose. Now, as we know that we have the ability to be able to count the amount of plays in the radio, that means that once you're capable of actually getting it to the broadcasters, and there are several ways to broadcast now, there are really no excuses at this level. Here's one of my problems. There are really no excuses at this particular level. At the top of the line, you can see that in order to broadcast, in order to get your music out there, the top artists really only need to follow a specific pattern. Because at this point in time, it has been made easy for us to be able to do what we need to do in order to allow people to listen. The problem is most artists aren't going to recognize that because they're going to be stuck in their ways. They're going to be following a particular pattern, and it's one that they're used to. There's a lot of things that they don't have to do now, so it's not going to break them down to find someone who has these particular realizations. Now, what they say is the record company is the one that actually provides the loan. They act as the bank. Then you're going to need distributors who get the product out there. Distributing is something different than just actually posting, actually just having the album. Distributing is actually penetrating a portion of the industry. You're penetrating a portion of the market. Keep in mind that there is a particular market in every artist, and these markets can actually be broken down. The distributor at wholesale is going to distribute to retail stores, retail outlets. You're going to get it out to the public and be 100% certain that the market actually receives the artist's work. Now, we're going to advertise through broadcasting. I think one of the most important hustles is the performance of the artist. In order to put together a good show, an artist must be capable of harnessing strong management professionals. I think in the old days you would actually be able to go outside and perform on the street corner and people would actually listen. And you would make a certain amount of money doing so. I think you could actually do that still today. But keep in mind that that artist needs a specific amount of ability to survive in order to continue his work. That's why so many artists don't rush to become the best, because they don't have the support system that they really need in order to continue to work on something specific. It doesn't matter if it's an instrument, it doesn't matter if you're just a writer, it doesn't matter if you are a composer of many different forms of music. Your art is difficult because of what you have to do personally. And to me that's blatantly obvious. So I know that just to keep you going, you must receive the ability, you must be granted the ability to be able to survive. They say that in the system that there are attorneys, and at this point I don't want to address the power of the attorney, but I do want to say that attorneys are there to negotiate, and that in business and in the industry, I believe that the attorney's behavior pattern, especially, seeing what I've gone through, is going to become obsolete. It's too easy to see that there are billions of people alive on a daily basis and that they're all striving for freedom. And that the attorney, in most cases, does not create what we're all looking for. And that's that freedom. There's so many different things that a person's able to do that it should never have become an issue to somebody being somebody or being something at the point where they're making a decision they couldn't be what they wanted to be. I don't think that attorneys should decide on negotiation. I think that our board should be completely capable from the business standpoint. We should be able to understand what's completely happening in our markets, in our communication between boards. I think the law is rather simplistic. So in my theory, we do not need attorneys. What we do need is the ability to broadcast. We do need the artists. We do need to be 100% sure that the public listens and purchases the music. Now, obviously, in order to create their product, there has to be a producer and management professionals. And to use the word management, I think in a lot of cases we use the word management loosely. Using management, when I say management, you have the ability to break management down into so many different levels that is how you nurture your management, is how your business is going to become. The better you treat your management, the more that your management is capable and willing to do, the more you're going to progress. And at the same time, I think an accountant is management. An accountant is a portion of management. I think that your management professionals should have the ability to be able to keep track of the money, as well as some of the publishing companies that are out there that actually keep track of the times that your music is listened to. So that's your system. That's your music system.